Okay, so I am super excited today because I know it's Saturday and a lot of you guys are out there getting your Christmas shopping or your Hanukkah, Kwanzaa holiday shopping started. And we just felt that it was really important to address having a good way to give gifts and kind of feeling like, okay, this is a time where everybody gets really stressed out and what's the solution behind that, right? So we're going to go through all of that today, but let me first introduce 7 a.m. expert Gina Kloes. She's the author of What's Your Magical Moment and also Stress Relief Now on the 7 a.m. Life platform. So welcome, Gina.
Thanks for having me again, Sequoia. It's always a delight to be with you.
Thank you. I'm super excited because I know a lot of people are stressing out right now, and I think we may have some solutions for them. So let's just jump right into it. Gift giving, what does that mean?
Well, it's so interesting because they come every year. The holidays creep up on us. And then I don't know about you, but as they approach, I start thinking, okay, I've got a plan for the holidays. And amidst our hugely hectic, busy, demanding schedules, at one point we say to ourselves, okay, who do we need to get gifts for? And I start planning my list. And then you go into a flurry of Amazon or online shopping or rushing to the mall buying things. Then the holidays arrive, you cart your gifts in, you pass them out, and then in a few moments, all the gifts are unwrapped, and you get a few cursory thank yous. You leave with your cart of stuff and bring it home, add to more stuff at home, and then boom, January arrives, and your credit card bills arrive. And you think, what happened? And I'm going to do something different next year, and yet the cycle continues. Does that happen to you, Sequoia?
That's so true. This has happened to me so many times. See, I'm the type of person that I love personalized gifts. So I really try to connect and give people things that are from the heart. So whether that be like making stuff or knowing their personalities and saying, okay, how can I give them something that's super personal to them, right? And so I end up stressing out because now it's the last minute. I'm running around. I'm trying to figure out, okay, where do I get this like gift? And I end up buying gift cards because it's just an easy default, right? And people are like, this isn't personal. So totally.
Well, it's a quick fix and stores count on it. And yet, there's a study done recently that over the last few years up through now, there are $44 billion of gift cards that are left unused. And I don't know about you, I have a box of gift cards that I still need to use. And to tell you the truth, I can't remember who gave them to me. I mean, and for me, over the holidays, I find myself at times asking myself, gee, is this really what the holidays are about? Rushing around buying things for each other. And where have we lost at some point in time that feeling of just joyfulness or inspiration and celebration of being together? It's, the media and advertising, they're all giving us all these great gift ideas, and we're more focused on what we're going to buy for each other and checking that off the list than really the true essence of the holiday. I mean, I know that most people, and my family included, after you get a gift, you're online kind of on social media saying, well, what'd you get? And especially with children, what'd you get? And let's compare it. And, well, I got this. Well, wait, you got the latest one. I got last year's model. What's that? And there's a lot of comparison that goes on that actually creates stress for people in addition to just the shopping.
Right. I totally agree with that. So then what is the solution? I mean, you've got these gifts, and you're comparing them on social media, and now you're feeling less, excited about what you got from the person that you supposedly love or loves you. And so what do we do? Like, how do we solve this?
Well, there is a solution, and I have to tell you, I was delighted because Cornell University did some research recently, and they found over this extended research that having an experience, giving an experience to someone is far more meaningful, creates much more happiness and satisfaction in the recipient rather than buying a material gift, which I love because it's the theme of what I teach. My personal mission in life is to help people fall in love fall in love with their real life. And it's the theme of my book, What's Your Magical Moment? It's the theme of the program I have on 7 a.m. So Cornell University did a beautiful body of research on this. And, they found that despite our connection to technology, and which we on average are on connected to media about 11 or more hours a day, despite that, we're still very highly social creatures. And we derive much more joy, much more comfort, much more meaning by our connection to people in real life, our connection, and that's really where we have and experience real life. And and when you give an experience to someone, which I call giving a magical moment, you give a magical moment as a gift, you avoid a lot of the comparisons, because although you may have an experience, whether it's, spending time on the beach with the family, I give my husband picnics on the beach, or taking my son to a sporting event, or spending time with my daughter. It's that experience itself is really less easy to compare. Right. And while you may have an experience with your family or your loved one or your spouse or your partner, your experience is unique to you. So you avoid a lot of the stress and social comparisons by giving an experience. And, even more importantly, beyond that is people think, well, I don't want to give an experience because it just comes and goes and it's fleeting. But if I give something, they'll have that forever. Well, in fact, that's actually not true, because Cornell found that giving an experience actually creates a longer lasting memory in your mind. It's something that lives with you longer than a material thing.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's the stories in our life, the experiences in our life that make up our life. It's the theme in my book, and I talk about how stories really create life, and it's all those different emotions that you would experience that make up our real life, that help us fall in love with our real life. And so to the extent that you can give that as a gift, it's beautiful. I mean, let's try something. Sequoia, sorry to put you on the spot, but let's look at your life for a moment and think for a moment now of your fondest memory, like your fondest memories in life. Can you share one or two of those with us?
Yeah, so what I think is really interesting about this, as you're speaking, I'm thinking about this experience I had over Christmas. This was a while back, but this was a guy I was dating, and I was this huge Disney fan. So we totally went to Disneyland and just booked rooms and had this great magical moment where we were just living in this great experience. And literally, this was years ago, okay? But literally, I remember every single detail of this. And I cannot tell you what I got for Christmas last year. No idea.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that amazing? It's just those experiences live on in our minds and in our histories. And it's how history is passed on from person to person.
Right.
It's in sharing the stories of our life. So Cornell reemphasizes what I think is so important. And it's creating the stories. And my children know that not only do we share magical moments, I give them to them as gifts. And it's some of the fondest memories that I have. And I know that there are many that they share. And it doesn't have to be this big, magnificent experience. Right. It's just something that you can do to spend time together.
Right.
Do something and let your child choose. Let your spouse choose. My husband gave me recently for my birthday a gift certificate that said, okay, anything you want to do all day, I'm at your disposal. And I still have it. I'm holding on to it. I'm going to spring it on him one day when he's least expecting it. But I'll remember that, and it creates a story for us.
Right.
So whether it's going to Disneyland, which is beautiful, or taking my son, we were actually honorary team captains for the Lakers one time. Or with my daughter, I gave her an experience when she was 11 to go to her first concert. And I let her pick it out, and, whatever she wanted to do was great. And we have that memory. But like you, I can't remember. Half of the stuff.
Right.
That I've received. And yet those experiences are so important. And even more importantly, Sequoia, you can give an experience to someone where they can enjoy the pleasure of their own company.
Right.
Experiences create self-awareness.
Yeah.
more and more we're getting away from that sacred time with ourselves
Right.
to really feel and experience our own self and reflect on our own thoughts, because most people now, again, more studies, and I do a lot of research in this area, and more studies show that people are finding it more difficult to sit for a while without picking up a cell phone, without picking up their cell phone and checking it and answering every beep and buzz on their cell phones. And so I schedule time where I just disconnect to really appreciate who I am in this world and all that I want to do. And it's allowing me to fall in love with my life. And, you know, that's my message to people. Allow the experience of life, to fall in love with your real life.
I think it's so interesting. Yeah, like I totally agree. And I think it's so interesting that you make that point, because I'm watching like people take your course on 7 a.m., right? And I know that for some people, holidays can be very stressful because you may not have those family members that you want to connect with on that level. You may not have that significant other yet, or you may have those people, but you just want to be alone and have that moment. And I'm watching people take your course and getting this feedback, and people are like so appreciative of just having that moment to themselves where they can just detox and like really have that experience. So I think you bring up such great points. Like, I love this.
Well, and you know, it's one of the things I love about the course. And you know, it's interesting. I got a message from a family who is actually doing the course. It's called Stress Relief Now, but really for me, it's more moments to just be. And so this family started the program, and they started day one, which was only 1 minute, as you know.
Right.
And they do it at their dinner table, and each day has a different value and a different experience. So there's days of calm. Day one for 1 minute is calm.
Right.
So they sit at their dinner table and they play. And if you want, you can watch it on video or you can listen to the audio. And it gives that experience of being calm for 1 minute. And it's a great lesson for their children and their family and for spouses too, because there's lessons on letting go. There's lessons on inspiration. And this one family said, you know, when they got to the day that we covered forgiveness, and it's in like a quiet state, and it gives you a saying for the day, a statement to live by during that day. It taught their son a great lesson about learning to forgive. And he was having some challenges at school. He was really angry.
Wow.
And they taught him the value of forgiveness and what holding on to resentment really does. But more importantly, too, they were able to discuss it as a family. That's awesome. So the program is more than, you know, these daily stress reliefs. It's actually creating a more meaningful, a more rich life where you experience different things each day. And so I'm grateful for 7 a.m. for putting up the program. And also it's just allowing that wisdom to pass through individuals and families. And you can download the audio and do it in your car. It's easy.
That's awesome. So, I mean, I'm super appreciative of you. I'm so glad that we got to talk about this. Give the gift of experiences, not the material gifts. They last longer, you guys. And I just want to thank you for joining us this morning, and anybody else who popped in. Just know that all this chaos is happening and all this stress about getting the best gift and the gift cards and all these things. And just, if you can, give an experience. It just is so much more meaningful. So thank you so much, Gina, for joining us.
Oh gosh, Sequoia, thank you. Yeah, give a magical moment. There's a free download for a magical moment gift certificate on my website, GinaKloes.com. And, you know, think about going to 7 a.m. and checking out the program and giving that to someone that you love and experience it with them together. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Be well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.